Irish people have experienced the devastation of having to make the journey to foreign shores, not knowing if they would be welcomed or not when they got there. In most cases they were welcomed with open arms, but in some cases they weren't, by those intent on sowing division. So I think if any people know the need to offer a welcome and indeed refuge to those fleeing conflict or persecution, it is the Irish people. And the vast majority of Irish people do think that way. That being said, I do, however, have questions as to how the government have handled this situation. The government have failed communities by not putting in place the additional resources necessary to accommodate the additional people. Indeed, these communities were under-resourced in general prior to the arrival of asylum seekers. We need additional teachers, additional Gardaí, more GPs. Communities are not being appropriately listened to and have concerns which need to be listened to, engaged with and resolved. Organisations such as family resource centres, youth facilities, addiction and mental health services, who are at the coalface of trying to assist the growing number of asylum seekers while also trying to assist those vulnerable communities they were originally set up to, have not received any additional support and are being stretched to breaking point. The government are also failing asylum seekers. It was very obvious that the government were not prepared and are still not prepared for the large number of asylum seekers arriving here. The government have adopted a two-tier system of asylum, and that's led to the fracturing of relationships and resentment between different groups of asylum seekers. And indeed, it's unfair, and it's also led to differing levels of support, fracturing relationships with Irish people and other working people here in this country. And it's stoking up resentment, and that's being exploited. Outside of the asylum system, many immigrants have come to work in Ireland to seek out a better future for themselves and their families. And we are familiar with this story because we have emigrated all over the world, and once again, not knowing what type of reception we would receive. So just as most Irish people have brought many valuable attributes to the countries we have went to, so too have most of the immigrants coming here. Indeed, without the immigrants currently here in Ireland, many vital areas of our economy and our health system could not function. And much misinformation has been spread, and there has been little done to counter this by the government. We hear constantly about unfettered immigrants, yet the fact is that on arrival, asylum seekers are interviewed by an immigration officer, they are registered at the International Protection Office, they are fingerprinted, they are photographed, they are checked to see if they've establish if they've applied for asylum elsewhere or have criminal records. And this system, however, it's not robust enough. It needs to be resourced properly. Decisions on asylum applications need to be quicker, and deportations, when that is the outcome, must be overseen and carried out in a timely manner. Sinn Féin believes Ireland, like every other country, must have control over its borders and must have a fair, efficient and enforced immigration system, a system with well-functioning rules and regulations that everyone understands and serves the interests of the Irish people.